me.
Oh, good. Hello. Whoa, we're back. Hello, everybody. Long time no. Did we do this last week?
We did not,
No, we did not. We did not do this last week.
Yeah,
We did it 2 weeks
you
ago.
weren't
I felt like
feeling
I wasn't
well, or
there.
I wasn't feeling well. One of us wasn't. It
I'm
was
talking.
me.
I'm talking. Stop talking.
Okay.
I'm talking. I wasn't. You weren't feeling well, and then the week before that, nobody was feeling well because you hosted by yourself and made everyone sick. But I'm back this week. Hello, it is me, Christopher Lawrence, your host. Welcome to Good Night, everybody. It's good to be back. I mean, you know what? I got to tell you this, Steven, because this annoyed me. Where's my pen? Okay. I was watching. There's this YouTube channel, and I'm going to call them out by name because they suck. You stink, and I don't like you anymore. But there's this YouTube channel. It's called Toy Galaxy. And I think because when it started, have you heard of this?
No.
I think when it started, it was about like action figures and stuff from the 80s, which I don't care about that. But it became a show about the history of different cultural phenomena, largely centered in the 80s and early 90s. So Ninja Turtles and Transformers, stuff that would be in our wheelhouse, right?
Sure.
So last night, I wasn't feeling well. I got a couple of boudin balls in Louisiana after Mass, and they didn't sit well with me in the middle of the night. So I'm sitting up, having the boudin sweats, and I'm saying, what's a comforting, mindless thing? Oh, I'll watch some of the Toy Galaxy guy there talk about, whatever. So there was an episode I hadn't seen about Double Dare. Remember Double Dare?
I do recall Double Dare, yes.
From Nickelodeon. Mark Summers, Double Dare, the host of Double Dare. So the kids would answer questions, and then they do like obstacle courses, blah, blah, blah. So I'm watching the video. It's fine. It's going through all the history of Double Dare. Then he starts talking about like the spin-offs. Family Double Dare. And he says, Family Double Dare, hosted by Caitlyn Jenner. I said, what? I'm sorry? Excuse me? This is like 1987? First of all, he's not Caitlyn now. There is no Caitlyn Jenner. Caitlyn Jenner is not a person. This is not real. But he actually says, this dork says, oh, yeah. So this guy that I watched on Family Double Dare, this leanly muscular Olympic champion who won all the gold medals in the decathlon, well, it's Caitlyn Jenner. Well, that annoyed me. So I turned it off. But this is like the kind of, soy boy adherence to stupid ideas of non-reality going on in popular culture that I have to you can't even enjoy. I just wanted to hear about Double Dare. I did not want this nonsense forced on me. Do you know what I mean? It happens all the time. Like all the time. I'd just be like watching the most innocuous thing. This is not a joke. I'm just annoyed by this.
Okay.
And then that happens. And this guy, the host, he looks like the smarmy kind of little weaselly PC, like I suspected, but it hadn't crept into the show yet. And now I can't watch the show because I'll see his stupid face and be annoyed and think about Caitlyn Jenner. You know what I mean? I wonder OJ.
Nope.
No? Okay.
No. You need to bring it back to you need to bring back to Alec Baldwin, right?
Well, that's old. That's over. He got off, of course. Of course he did. Oh, you know what? They showed a clip with him on one of these shows when I was watching. I forget what they were talking about, but they were talking about like people that got their start in soap operas. And there he was. And he looked weird.
He got his start in soap operas?
He's apparently. He's gonna be the next star on the Hollow app. He's gonna be telling people to get prayed up on how, hey, after you shoot some people, get prayed up. You want to pray with me? Blast a couple in the face.
He actually his voice work is actually pretty good.
He's very good. He's very funny on Saturday Night Live. He's one of my favorite hosts. He's in some excellent movies, but he's terrible. My mom knew him. Rest in peace, my mom, by the way. But my mom knew him because she did a lot of work with cancer charities on Long Island, and his mom started a cancer charity. She was the head of it, and he would show up at these fundraisers, and she said he was like the nicest guy, but it's acting. Thank you.
It's
not real,
me, kid. I'm Alec Baldwin.
Huh?
You can't outact me, kid. I'm Alec Baldwin.
Yeah. But yeah, very, very talented. But a lot of these people, talented, get talent from God, and then they're like, yeah, God, I don't need you. I'm gonna go be evil now. I bet you can't guess even 3 of my 5 favorite SNL sketches of all time. Go ahead, try.
Well, there's a lot of SNL sketches out there.
Yeah.
But 3 of your 5
but knowing
favorite.
me a little bit, even 3 of the 5, my top 5. Try to guess of all time. You'll never guess any of them.
No, it's probably not. I mean, I can't even guess 3 of my 5 favorite all time.
I could guess all of your favorite. But let's start with me.
Okay.
As all things should. So, come on, take a guess.
I'm gonna go with Cowbell. Probably not Cowbell.
You're so far. If Will Ferrell is even near sketch, it's garbage.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna say then.
There's one. Will Ferrell.
Joe Piscopo, and because
let me finish this.
Okay.
There's one sketch with Will Ferrell that will occasionally get me to laugh against my will, but it's cheap. Okay. It's the one where they're all wearing the letters, the sweatshirts with the letters on.
Yeah.
See, but it's cheap. It's easy. But I will admit it will get me to chuckle. But no, nothing else with Will Ferrell. No Joe Piscopo, although I don't mind.
Really? Joe Piscopo. I mean, I thought their Ebony and Ivory sketch was really good.
It's actually it's not in my top 5.
Okay. Okay. All right. It's got to be. We got to do Chris Farley, David Spade. No. I thought the cheerleader sketch, that was always a funny one.
That's Will Ferrell.
No, it's the
That's Gap Girls.
Gap Girls, sorry. Yeah.
It's not in my top 5. It's great. It's not in my top 5.
What, the Bears?
No.
The Bears. I don't know. I've been guessing. I'm not even close. Give me one of the actors in it.
Kenan Thompson.
Black Jeopardy.
No.
Oh, that one's good.
That's Steven. That's racist. How dare you? Every time. Can we go one show without you being racist?
It's the name of.
Why do they have to have Black Jeopardy? A black guy can't do well on regular Jeopardy. Why, Steven? Why?
I'm not the SNL writers.
Just Jeopardy. I've seen black guys on Jeopardy. Wait, I think I've seen
Celebrity. No, Celebrity Jeopardy has Will Ferrell in it.
I don't think I have seen black guys on Jeopardy.
I have.
There probably have been. There probably been black guys on Jeopardy. It's usually the ones that can pass. That's why. But Steven, that's racist. So no. What else? Take it. One more guess. Kenan Thompson.
Kenan Thompson,
it's like you don't even know me.
It's like that, and I mean it's probably that. I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of Kenan Thompson sketches because he came in after I released
Patrick Coffin and his dog.
Look, Patrick Coffin is one of my new best friends, and
you know what I used to enjoy is because I was a real fan, not like you. When they would do the intros and outros on Catholic Answers, and it was him and Jimmy Aiken. It would say, Coffin and Aiken coming right back on Catholic Answers Live.
Coffin and Aiken coming right
back. And that always tickled me.
Yeah, he might be watching now. I'm not saying he is, but he might be.
Oh, really?
Probably not, but he might be.
I got a message for him. You owe me a phone call. You can't get on the show without me. He has no power.
Okay? I can send the meeting.
Zero power. You're going to end up at a festival with Big Head and Full Willer and not on the show.
You should.
So it's not my fault.
We should get you a pipe.
You just want me to have something in my mouth so I can't talk anymore.
I mean, that's part of it. But no, I think if
I have a pipe. I have a corncob pipe like a normal American.
Do you have a button nose?
No, I have a Roman nose.
We're just saying that we should.
I'm giving you one more guess. I'm giving you one more.
Okay.
Guess.
All right. Kenan Thompson.
Yeah. It's a reoccurring sketch. I'll give you that clue.
Yeah, I just.
It's musical.
Musical. I don't. Kenan. Man, he's been on that show such a long time.
No, he is an idiot, but he's very funny.
Well, yeah, that's most idiots.
A lot of them. Well, no, the whole era of like the 90s, those guys either were at the time or ended up being conservative leaning. But this I don't know who's on the show now. I think Keenan's still there because what's he gonna do?
Yes.
But the rest
He
of them,
started on all that.
Huh?
Didn't he start on all that?
He was on one of those shows. In fact, I saw the other one, the one that's not famous anymore. The one time I went to Comic-Con, he walked right past me. Nobody acknowledged him. Kel.
Kel.
And I said, "Hey, Good Burger, Good Burger, Good Burger." Was Good Burger a show or a sketch on the show?
It was a sketch on a show.
I would just tell you. Well, okay, so the Keenan and Kel one that's my favorite is "What's Up with That."
Okay.
It's a reoccurring sketch. It's one of the greatest reoccurring sketches ever on Saturday Night Live. Okay, guess one more, and then we're gonna move on. This one has Tracy Morgan.
Tracy Morgan. Now that's a callback. I have no idea. I do not remember.
It's Brian Fellows' Safari Planet.
I think I remember that one. No,
Another reoccurring sketch.
My favorite, I think the one that got me to laugh the most.
You like Pepperboy?
No, there was.
Thank you, young man. That's the perfect amount of pepper. Ooh.
There was an episode. They had a Christmas special, and on the Christmas special, there was. Well, so on this was years and years ago. I remember I saw it as a kid. Well, I'm saying there was this particular Christmas special. There was a sketch where they made a nativity scene that they put a microchip. Did you tell our guest
that we do this?
No, I don't talk to the guest beforehand. You're
supposed to talk to the guest.
Okay, I didn't. No one talks to our guests. Not even us. Okay,
someone's supposed to talk to me.
Probably.
Maybe we'll make Tony do that.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a big announcement. Big announcement. 2 big announcements, and then you can tell us your little thing.
Go ahead.
You can talk about your little thing. Well, don't talk about your little thing. You can talk about whatever you were going to talk about, unrelated to your little thing. 2 big announcements. Starting next week, we're moving the show to Thursdays at 8 o'clock. Work for Seinfeld. Thursdays at 8 o'clock Central, live. Good night, everybody. It's an early late night talk show. And announcement number 2, we will now on a weekly basis have the great Tony Manfredonia as our regular band leader on the show. Hey!
Heyo!
Big applause for me for getting Tony Manfredonia. All right. Tell me what do you want?
There was a sketch. It was
I'll tell you something after this.
And there was, so it was like they were selling, it's like a commercial for a nativity scene. And they say part of it is like they say that this company was able to perfectly.
I don't want to hear blasphemy on the show.
It's not blasphemy.
Irreverence.
It's saying that they're supposed to perfectly recreate the sound of the infant Jesus. Careful. But it was
nope. Not on my
sound. Watch. The sound was like the sound came out and it was like,
oh, you know who just turned off their television? You know who just turned off their television?
Who?
Patrick Coffin.
Maybe. But the sketch, it's just this.
He should comment if he's here.
It was just an awful sound. It was just like, oh, 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 oh. And it's like, you can't be turned off. And the children are like, Mommy, what's that noise? And the mother's like, that's baby Jesus. And it was just so out there and so like, you wouldn't have guessed. Like, it was such a weird thing.
We're going to get a letter from the bishop now.
Which bishop? We're in 2 different
You're
dioceses.
You're going to have to take Catholic out of your name, just like they did to a lot of people.
Yeah, just like
if the Pope drops dead at this minute, I'm going to blame your little story.
Okay, I can live with that.
Oh, wow.
But like you can blame whoever you'd like. Look, the Pope has.
You're happy to have killed the Pope?
I don't want to kill the Pope.
Look, everybody, it's Sirhan. I didn't recognize you. Isn't that the guy that shot the Pope? I think he shot somebody. Or he shot Bobby Kennedy. I get these guys' names mixed up. They sound the same.
Someone shot somebody.
We'll find out soon, apparently.
I shot the sheriff, but I did not shoot the deputy.
We're going to find out. Let me tell you something about superheroes, since you love them so much. The idea of the superhero is an antichrist idea. All these men, well, they used to all be men before they started letting women get involved in every darn thing. But all these men who have elevated themselves through naturalistic or humanistic means to a higher nature than they could have attained normally, through no appeal to divinity, but merely through, as I've said, either scientific, humanistic, animalistic, and then put themselves in positions of authority and power, often in matters of life and death, frequently in areas that affect the entirety of the planet, who no one has elected to these positions. Now, who would you say was the first superhero? It's easy.
Well,
It's exactly who you think. It's a gimme.
so I would say, I mean, super
Sup-
heroics. You're looking. I would still, I'm still going to go with the
Superman. It's
Shadow.
Superman.
I would
Superman.
still go with the Shadow.
It's not a superhero. So it's Superman.
Okay.
Who created Superman? A couple of our greatest allies. In fact, the vast majority of superheroes created by the tribe. And those who weren't, the credit for their creation quickly usurped and their natures perverted. Anyway, we have a great guest tonight. His name is Brian Duncan, Dr. Brian Duncan. He is a yo-yo expert. He owns a yo-yo magic trick and skill toy website. Let's bring him on now.
Hey,
Brian, how are you?
good. How are you doing?
Very good. No, don't every time. Thank you. Thanks for doing this. We're happy to have you here and to talk yo-yoing and what do you call them? Skill toys.
Skill
Right?
toys, yeah.
Okay. So let's start from the beginning. How on earth did you begin this website? It's yoyotricks.com, correct? There it is. It's right on the screen right there in front of me.
Yep.
If it was a snake, it would have bit me.
Yeah,
How did you begin this
I
website?
edited my name there. Make sure that it actually.
It's smart because we'll forget.
Yeah, back when I was in high school, I had a friend of mine that had he was into yo-yoing for his whole life, and he had started kind of like a ministry for his church where he would travel around to churches and perform yo-yos and drama skits and things like that. And so I met him and got into yo-yoing that way. I just thought it was really cool and just a really fascinating activity. And that got me into all sorts of other things like hacky sacks, Diablos, kendamas, which is like ball and cup toy, magic.
What are Diablos?
Diablos are like they're really big. Imagine like two yo-yos stuck together.
Where did he go?
I gotta find one now.
Steven has left. Good.
He's left the chat.
I guess so.
We don't need that. We don't need him. We're good. So
I find that is true sometimes.
Yeah, that's a Diablo.
I'm expecting. Oh, there he is. Yeah. Oh, I had one of those.
Yeah, those are really popular with like the Cirque du Soleil.
Okay.
And so, yeah, there's just all sorts of like we do beglery, which is like two little weights tied by a string that you can.
Are they the ones that kind of knock together?
Yeah. Some people call them thumb-chucks. That's kind of
okay. Now I've had all these things when I was younger. I did a lot of. I even rode a unicycle briefly, believe it or not.
Yeah.
It was a hobby. Like I could do if I picked up a yo-yo now, which I still do. I could do the basic, walk the dog and rock the baby and around the world, whatever.
Yeah.
But I know that there's a whole higher echelon of, I don't know if you ever heard of Brian Scalabrine. He was an NBA player. He was considered like one of the worst NBA players. People were talking about challenging him all the time. And he had this great saying. He said, "I'm closer to LeBron than you are to me."
Yeah.
So in other words, there are levels to this game, right? Same thing with martial arts, which we'll talk about later too.
Yep.
Are there levels to these skill trick things? Are there just wild? Are you one? Are there guys that are just doing wild yo-yo tricks? I couldn't even.
Yeah. I'll show you guys some tricks here in a minute.
Awesome.
And if you haven't been following yo-yo, your mind will be blown because.
Where do you follow yo? I would love to. How do I follow you?
I've got this amazing YouTube channel called yoyotricks.com and a website. We have a mobile app. And
are you kidding me?
Yeah.
This is awesome. I love this stuff.
Yeah. So our company, basically I got into yo-yo in high school, and a friend of mine, the same friend, he actually got hired by a toy maker to be in a commercial. And it was a commercial that was put up in Walgreens all around the world to sell these yo-yos. and that kind of jump started things. So he was kind of savvy, and he basically talked the guy into paying him less money than he was planning, and in return had the guy put his website on every yo-yo that entered into Walgreens. It was very smart. So there's like hundreds of thousands of yo-yos out there in all these stores with this website. And and then I jumped in. I was a web developer at the time, and so I just helped my friend started the whole business. And then I just was like, hey, I can help market this. Let me redo the website. Let me do all this stuff. And then it just kind of took off. And so the premise behind the website is that we teach you how to use skill toys for free. And in return, hopefully you buy stuff from us.
Now, was the impetus for all this bitterness being excluded from inheritance of the Duncan yo-yo fortune?
Yeah. People ask me that all the time. No, as far as I know, I don't have any relation to Donald F. Duncan, who originally founded it. And then now it's run by Flambeau Toys. But that's me back when I didn't have a huge beard and long hair.
That's you. Wow.
So young and normal.
Well, the latter is debatable.
I'm not very normal. Nor was I ever then. Duncan has actually, like, at one point, they were kind of a little upset because the name Duncan was getting used with our yo-yo company, but then everyone kind of realized, like, it's my name. So
yeah, what do they want you to do?
Yeah, engineer. I always teased them that, like, they should just, I guess they should just give their company to me.
Now, how long does it take to become proficient at yo-yo, and how long does it take to become an expert? Like, what kind of time commitment are we looking at? If I said today, I mean, I'm old now, so I don't know what the ceiling is for me. But
so yeah, like, to get proficient, it really, like, if you want to super nerd out on it, it'll take you a month or two, a couple months.
No, really?
Yeah, well, it depends how much you practice. So here's the thing, like, most people who get into yo-yoing, they're like, I joke that they're very lonely people. They're usually not. They actually yo-yo in a group. It's actually a pretty cool community. And they have clubs and meet up, and everything's really neat. But, like, it's like they don't do anything else. Like, and I was like this when I was younger. I would yo-yo for like 8 hours a day. Like, I had one with me everywhere I went. And so and I've seen guys I've been yo-yoing for 16, 18 years now.
Wow.
And like intense yo-yo, not just as a kid playing with it, but like in the sport and activity. And I've had kids that have done it for like less than 6 months, and they're better than me.
Really?
Yeah. It's just
hard to believe.
How much are you gonna put into it? The thing is, I don't really practice anymore. Like, I don't learn new tricks. I don't, like, develop my skills with what's going on in the community. Like, I got good at yo-yoing. I built a business. If I learn something, it's just for the business, and that's it. And that's
is it the kind of thing where there's a constant evolution happening, just like with skateboarding? Because I'll watch the X Games now, and there are like these 14-year-old kids doing things that we couldn't have imagined when I was skating.
Yeah. Well, and it does this thing too. Like, I skate too. So it's exactly
all
like
goes
that.
Together, doesn't it? Like, I remember,
in fact,
high school, it was like BMX, skateboarding, hacky sacking, yo-yo, unicycles, and then we're going out and doing things like stealing road cones for some reason.
Stop signs, whatever.
We did a little of that too. If it was already falling down, allegedly
falling down. It's legal then. It's that, and then it's considered.
If it touches the ground,
now legal. We're picking up litter. Now you're a benefit to society.
Well, the grass underneath is just going to die if I leave it sitting there. I mean, I'm not.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
everybody's worried about the environment, until you take a stop sign, and then they're not anymore.
But we actually.
I'm the bad guy.
We sell free skates on our website, which are like free skates. It's, imagine 2 small little square skateboards, and you stand on them and move your feet independently. You'll have to check it. It's super cool, and we have it's tons of fun. But I still skate, and like things that we
there we go. Oh, okay. Ooh,
Those
I've
are
never
super
seen these.
cool. It's more
How
of
do
a
they
model.
attach to your feet? You just stand on
You
them?
don't. You just stand on them.
Oh, I could not do that. That's not
It's
happening.
super fun. I do a ton of that. But what's funny is like, you know, in
Wow.
skating, like there was, I guess I remember this being like maybe 10 years ago, maybe a little more than that, 10, 15 years ago. There's like this point where like young kids started doing things that I think skateboarding has gone through this a few times where like young people will start doing things that aren't tricks. You're like, yeah, that's not a trick. Like that's stupid. Skateboarding is this thing and you're not doing it. And yo-yoing has that where
Really?
like there's just stuff where you're like, yeah, that's not yo-yoing, you idiot. Like stop doing that. That's dumb. But it just becomes this fad and all the young kids just get into the innovation and all of a sudden that's the thing everybody does. And it's kind of annoying because I don't want to keep learning new things, but I have to.
Give us an
So there's
example
gatekeeping in yo-yo.
Like, what's a dumb thing that someone can do that you're like, that's not yo-yoing, stop it?
So it gets so back in the day it was string on a yo-yo, you threw it down, you did some tricks. And then eventually they put bearings in them, and that seemed really cool. Well, then some dude got the bright idea, like, what if I tie a dice block to the end so the yo-yo is not attached to my finger? And that's called freehand yo-yoing. Yeah, and freehand or counterweight yo-yoing. And so now you can let go of both ends.
What? How?
It's he'll have to, maybe you can pull up a video or something because
we've
got them on the sites. In fact, look up Jake Elliott World Yo-Yo Contest. If you can play videos over the stream, that's the one to watch. This guy used to work for me. He won the World Yo-Yo Contest in 5A. This is freaking phenomenal. But when that thing came out, this freehand yo-yoing, it was dumb. Like the tricks were lame. It looked like certain people were into it because it was really edgy, but it was so lame. Like who would ever want to do this? And you can never do anything. Like it'll be so dumb. And then 10 years later, one of the most popular forms of yo-yoing ever, and the things that these young kids are doing with it, absolutely amazing. Like
I have to get one of these.
Yeah. And then now they've got like off-string yo-yos, so the yo-yo is not attached to the string at all.
Oh, but that used to be called something else, didn't it? Wasn't that its own thing for a while? You would shoot it to each other. That's a similar thing, right?
It's not that at all. I know what you're talking about, but
no. Okay, it's different.
And then now, this video is phenomenal.
Now, Steven, 2 weeks ago, you got our whole video demonetized, because you played that clip of Freakazoid.
This will have music.
Unmute yourself. Good grief.
I'm working with like different screens here, so just hold on. Yeah, I apologize. I will mute this so that we don't get.
It'll have music, but if you mute the video, you should be. We don't have to watch the whole thing, but
is this the guy that used to work for you?
Yep, this is Jake Elliott.
Okay, let's see this.
World Yo-Yo champion.
Oh, there he goes. Wow.
Yeah. So what he's doing is he has a counterweight that we actually patented or trademarked. Yeah. So Duncan owned a patent on counterweights, and we designed this version, which has it's shaped a particular way. It's called an ultraweight. Has a bearing in it. And yeah, so he doesn't have to have it attached to his finger. He can let go of both ends, and it's just insane.
This is amazing. I had no idea that this existed.
Yeah. So this is what's called 5A. There's 5 primary styles of yo-yoing, and more are in development. And some of them are in that phase of like, this is lame, no one will ever like it. But you give it a few more years, everyone will like it. Yeah. This guy is.
That's insane.
And what's funny,
and you helped develop this.
Well, he developed that counterweight all on his own. So he worked for me, and he wanted it to be a specific way. And so that's a yo-yo that we manufactured that we still sell called the Atlas, and that's a counterweight that he developed called the Ultraweight, which is just phenomenal. What's crazy though is this is from 2015, and a lot of these tricks, like at the time, this was cutting edge in this style of yo-yo, and now this is like, not all of it, but a lot of these tricks are like intermediate. Like, yeah, a lot of guys do this. Not that cool. Like,
I can't even imagine what would have evolved past this. I couldn't imagine
Double
this.
yo-yo, one on either
Oh,
side.
double
and you're just
yo-yo,
like,
is that a thing?
it is. Yeah, it's called 3A.
Oh boy.
That's actually the style that I do predominantly is
Okay.
2 yo-yos at once.
Can you
but
do 2 of
either-
these at once? Do people do that?
That's a new thing that's starting. Yeah.
Starting
You'll
now.
start
Wow.
you'll start to see that at his level now where guys start using 2 yo-yos like this, and it
Now, are the guys young doing this? Like we said, like in skateboarding, they're like these 14-year-old kids doing it. Is it a young people thing? Or
yeah, I think older people have to pay bills. There's just not enough money in yo-yoing. Like that's the thing with me. Like people are like, "Oh, how come you're not as good as you used to be?" Like, well, when I was really good, I only had to practice a couple hours a day. Now to keep up, I'd have to practice like 8, but I have 7 kids, so
oh boy,
like
yeah,
someone has to pack the yo-yos and design them, and and manage the website and mobile app, and that's my job. So
now, are any of your kids into yo-yo, or are they like, oh, that's dad's thing?
For a long time, it was kind of just boring to them. Like, I'd pull out a yo-yo, they'd be like, oh, dad's yo-yoing again. But yeah, some of my kids are into it now. Most of them can do like 50 or so tricks.
Wow.
And yeah. But that's that's
watch if they put a yo-yo in Fortnite, then they'll like it.
Actually, what did they have in Fortnite? They had some. Oh no, it was they put a yo-yo in the game Terraria years ago.
Oh, okay.
And
they put in Fortnite. They put in Fortnite a thing where you could sell your soul to the devil. Did you hear about this?
No, I don't follow Fortnite. It's so dumb.
I don't either. I follow gaming like in general, although I'm less and less into it because it's gotten woke and stupid like everything else,
Yeah.
But yeah, they put a thing. Well, it's not the devil. They'll say it's Mephisto, the guy from Marvel Comics. But you literally go up to him in his like headquarters, and if you sell him your soul virtually in the game, you like get rewards.
All right.
I'm like, yeah, no thanks. I don't care what you say. I'm not doing that. No way.
That's
so gotta read that end user license agreement. That fine.
Nobody reads those. You know what I do? I just whenever I have to sign one of those virtually, like starting a new game, I just like I make a mental reservation. I disavow this.
Cross your fingers.
Yeah.
Check.
I don't stand up in court.
Well, I don't care about court. I care about God.
I
care about God court.
The celestial court. There you go.
It's even more harsh than Wapner. He was no pushover.
No.
So Brian, what of the skill toys?
Yes.
Is yo-yo your favorite? Can you pick a favorite?
It kind of changes here and there.
Like, what are the ones you do? Can you run down which ones you're proficient in? So yo-yo, and then what else?
Yeah, so I'm proficient in yo-yos, Diablos, Biglery. I can do some pen.
Which one's that?
That's the 2 weights with a string that you flip between your fingers.
Okay.
I can do some pen spinning.
Pen spinning.
We sell magic stuff and Rubik's cubes on our site, and I can solve a Rubik's cube pretty fast. And I do.
Now, has there been an evolution in Rubik's cube? Is there like the new kind of Rubik's cube?
They just have all different types now, where they've got 2x2s and pyramids and all different sorts of polygons and things going on, and just looking for new ways to solve them. And people are always coming up with new methods or just trying to get faster.
Well, 2x2, that's the one that's made for Steven, I guess.
No. For Steven, we have a special one.
Oh, even more special. Oh, and it's monochrome.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't actually sell it 1 by 1, but I've thought about it. I've thought about selling it for April Fools, the 1x1 speed cube.
The 1x1 monochrome speed cube. Yeah. The Steven special. No, he's a good guy.
Yeah. I can juggle. I juggle pretty efficiently.
Oh, I used to do that too. See, I wonder what this is so psychologically interesting to me. That I wonder why so many of these things go together.
I can do spin tops pretty well.
Oh, what is this? Crazy cube mind reading magic trick.
Yep.
Can you do that one?
I can, yeah. And I do a lot of
how many are those tops?
Yeah, spin tops.
Is that that's like a high, there's like a high level of tops?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you can get them
What do
with
you
bearings. Spin top. So you toss it out kind of like a yo-yo, but it comes off, and then you balance it on your hand, and then you can wrap the string around it and do different types of tricks. And it's not as robust as a yo-yo is.
Okay.
It's
My
limited.
neighbor, he had one, it was like a wooden one, and like he said it was Mexican yo-yo, and
that's
but
racist.
he's Mexican, he's Mexican, so he can't. That's what he said.
It's racist.
And like
you're not Mexican. It's just a
but
yo-yo.
you wrap a string around basically a top, and then you throw it and you pull the string back, and it causes it to spin. But they're heavy, and so it spins, and so you're supposed to be able to like pick it up and like toss it from hand to hand if you can do it right and keep it moving.
Yeah, the problem with spin tops is that
you know what the big trick is with that, with the Mexican yo-yo? It's called over the border.
See, this is where you yell at me, but that's much worse.
What do you mean? It's a trick. You make it go from one side over to the other side. It's called over the border.
Brian, what was the
you
thing
couldn't
you were
do it. It's
talking about?
hard.
Spin types?
I can't do it.
I'm saying that the terrible thing about spin tops is that when they stop spinning, they're off the string, so you have to wind them back up, and usually you have to run after it, and that's annoying. So yo-yos are connected to the string, and that makes it easy.
They are.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, not anymore. Now you got these wacky ones that aren't even on a string anymore.
Even those, it's easy to play with though.
You ever do contact juggling? I remember a couple of years back that was a big deal.
Yeah.
What's that?
So you get like a big silver ball or whatever. It's not silver, but like a big metal ball, and you would just move it around.
Is this like the thing that
Bowie
did in Labyrinth?
Yeah, kind of. I think so. But it got really big a couple of years ago, where people were talking about contact juggling because you were moving this ball around your body.
There were too many balls in Labyrinth. He wore that leotard. Has Brian ever tried the fushigi ball? This sounds like a joke. Oh, I think that's what I'm talking about. That's the thing that Bowie did, right? Is that what that is?
I gotta look up what.
Steven, look this up. I can.
Oh, yeah, fushigi ball is basically just it's called contact juggling. And there's different forms of juggling like that.
That's that thing, right?
Yeah. Fushigi ball was not something innovative. It was just someone good at marketing gave it a cool name and an interesting design and sold it, and they did a good job.
Is that what I'm thinking of? Is that the David Bowie thing?
It's just because in Labyrinth he like rolls it around his hand or something like that.
That's that, right?
But there are people who do it like they're rolling around their.
He didn't do that. He didn't do that. There was a guy with an arm. Well, of course he had an arm, but there was another guy that like stuck his hand up between Bowie there and did all the stuff off camera.
I believe. I mean, Jim Henson. That was Jim Henson.
Because Bowie couldn't juggle his own balls. Like he had to have somebody do it for him. I guess when you're that famous.
There was actually, there was a famous yo-yoer, Steve Brown. He was on Wife Swap at one point, which is a terrible TV show. But he was in Zoolander, I think it was.
Really?
Did yo-yo tricks real briefly in that movie. I'm pretty sure it was Zoolander.
Have you done any?
Now I got to look that up.
Have you been in any commercials or shows or anything for your skills?
I was on America's Got Talent.
You were?
Yeah.
Amazing.
And
when was this?
I don't know, like over a decade ago.
That's so cool.
Yeah, not really. I haven't been on TV for any of my skills. I just yo-yo on a YouTube channel called yoyotricks.com.
Well, everyone's got to subscribe to that now.
That's right. And buy a yo-yo.
Yes.
Help put my kids through college.
Where should people start with these skill toys? Is yo-yo the place to start?
I think yo-yo is the easiest one because it's attached to the string, and it's really there's just a lot of technology and advancements that make it really easy. So we actually have something called usually I recommend people either get started with a fizz yo-yo pack, which is like a beginner yo-yo, or they get the first 50 yo-yo tricks pack.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. That's all our beginner tricks.
When my daughter was 3, she just turned 4, but when she had like just turned 3, I got her the yo-yo ball. That's cheating, I guess. But is that going to inhibit her learning actual yo-yo later?
No.
Or is that a good place?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's a good place to start because it's not like yo-yoing at all. But,
Right. So it's going to instill bad habits. I also got her a regular yo-yo, which is what she's using now.
Yeah.
I got her the Duncan, the soft one.
The soft one. Did you get her the?
It's like a regular Duncan butterfly, but it's like rubber. So if they hit themselves, it won't really hurt.
Yeah. That's I think the flying panda or something like that. Yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So here's a yo-yo I've got. This is a more expensive one.
Okay.
First, one of the first yo-yos that we designed.
Steven, put him big on the screen. There we go.
There you go. So it's made out of aluminum. Oh,
aluminum.
Yeah, the civility, and then the rings are steel.
So this is serious stuff. What does something like that run?
This one's like $100.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
Not for beginners at all.
No. Yeah. But you start with the fizz. Like we have an Oracle. We have it's an $8 yo-yo. The fizz is $12. Those are kind of introductory yo-yos. Yeah. Our Sage, which is kind of like our a plastic intro yo-yo to modern yo-yoing. That's like $15. So they start out, but all the yo-yos now, they're all made with ball bearings that spin and replaceable axles. They have pads now that help them to come back. So there's there's a lot of technology and concepts and thoughts behind.
I like that. I like when you can customize and take apart. And I used to do slot car racing too. And half the fun doing that is just changing your tires and your engine. And so I like that kind of fiddling with things.
Yeah.
So do you want to show us, is now the time for you to give us a demonstration?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay. Steven, make sure he's big on the screen there.
Here, let's see.
All right, here we go.
Gotta have something fun to do tonight. Here.
I'm already impressed.
There you go.
Whoa. Steven, look at that.
I would have tangled the string up already.
Oh, yeah. I would have whacked myself right in the face already.
Right in the face.
Right in the face.
Yeah.
At the face if you're lucky.
Unlike old yo-yos, they don't come back.
Oh.
And that's by design. So a lot of people get them and they'll write me and be like, my yo-yo's broke. No, it's working how it's supposed to. Because that lets me, I can whip the string into the yo-yo.
So how do you get it to come back?
Yeah, so how do you make it come back?
You have to do a special trick called a bind. So I'll actually kind of pinch the string like this, and when I start pulling, whoop, there we go. It'll snap back up. So by pinching the string and then pulling real slow, you'll see it start binding on the camera.
Oh, I see. Oh, look at that.
So there's a whole science behind getting them to come back now.
Wow. And is that the standard now? Do you not want the one that comes back? Do you want to go right? If you're serious about yo-yo,
if you're serious about yo-yo, you don't want your yo-yo to come back.
You want to start with that kind.
Yeah.
Yo-yo, come back.
But usually
you're going to get us demonetized, Steven.
There's no way anyone would confuse my singing with the actual song.
They don't care. It doesn't care. Do you know that we have to share our? We don't get any money, but if we did, that's the other thing. When we had Tony, the great Tony Manfredonia, our band leader, he did a cover of that song. He did a cover of the song Valerie. So I thought, it's a cover. It shows what I know. It's a cover. It's fine. We have to share any money we get from that, any revenue with the record label.
That's funny.
The Zootons.
That is.
You
fun.
believe that? You believe that?
I believe it.
It's the damn AI.
And Big Record coming after you.
The record companies, they've always been the worst. I was friends with a lot of bands when I was younger, and yeah, it's no good deal in the music business. But okay, so you want to start with, and what's the name of that kind of yo-yo?
It's
again?
called an unresponsive yo-yo.
Unresponsive. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
But if you think you might not be that coordinated, or you just want to see if you'd like yo-yo, or you're getting something for a young kid, you would get a more classic yo-yo that comes back. Usually the best yo-yo to start off with for someone who really wants to get into it is the Sage Pro Pack that we have.
Okay.
The Sage is like our flagship model. Like it's the one that does
now what level of coordination are we talking about? Like, I'm a big video gamer.
So go down.
And Steven milks cows. So is that going to help him?
Do type Sage starter pack in the search bar. There you go. And that first one there. So this one would come. It comes like with a yo-yo that's responsive, but then it has the parts in it that will make it unresponsive. And it's
you can like transform it.
Yeah, it's specifically designed to play both ways.
Oh, that's great.
It.
Steven, are you trying to hit the record for copyrighted songs in an episode? Why?
I mean, two is a pretty high record.
No, you did something else before that I don't remember because I don't pay attention to you, but there was something. And then you were talking about, forget it. You said something racist about Mexicans.
The guy next door said it was a Mexican yo-yo. That's all I'm saying. That's what he called it.
Again. Why? Because instead of bearings, they have beans in it. I mean, what are we talking about?
I told you it was because it's a top. It's just what he called it.
Say whatever racist thing you're gonna say. Just say it at this point. Just say it.
I don't have anything.
I mean, you might as well.
You sell magic tricks.
We do.
I see the magic tricks.
Yeah, we have a few of them on there at the moment.
What you want to make your Mexican neighbor disappear?
No, he's a great guy.
There's a magic trick for that. It's called the INS hotline.
Wow, that's where you took it to a different level.
Blame me. It's my fault.
Yes. All right. Most of these I know, but the crazy mind reading cube. What is, without revealing how the trick is done, what is the trick supposed to do?
So what you do is you have two small.
Are you talking about the mind reading cube, Steven? If you can't guess what that does,
what you do is you give the small cube and the dice block to a person in the audience, and they can select a number and put it in the small tube, and then you put the small tube in the big tube, and you shake it around, and then you tell them what number it is.
Okay, that's a good trick.
Yeah,
I have this magic trick here. If you recognize it,
no.
I'm not going to show you. It doesn't work over camera so well, but it's a nice trick.
What is that?
It's funny. There are certain tricks that you can do on camera and certain ones you cannot do on camera. And some of them work on camera great, but not in person.
It depends how strong your pact with the devil is when you're
Let's see if I
working your sorcery.
No.
What is that? What are you doing?
All right. So what happens is I take this stack of quarters. And I put it here, and then I use this, and I put it over, and then the quarters.
Didn't you just say it doesn't work on camera?
It doesn't work very well on camera.
Why are you doing it?
Because you said, what is it? You wanted to know what it is. And so I'm showing you the best as I can how the trick works. And then the whole deal is that you're supposed to use this little this magic ring, and the magic ring makes them come out. But my hand is soft, and so it doesn't work. It only works on hard surfaces. So, but Duncan,
Brian,
I know that one. We used to sell it on our site.
Brian, Steven milks cows. Is that the kind of dexterity going to help him in any of these tricks?
I was gonna say no, not at all, but it makes me laugh because there is a yo-yo trick called milk the cow.
Oh, Steven, there you go.
And it will not help you learn that yo-yo trick at all. But
do you get milk out of the yo-yo?
You should specialize in that one.
No. But I think if you bring your cow milking skills to the yo-yo room when you're practicing, you might gain something.
What about his pipe smoking? Will that anything that'll help him with?
No.
Well, they're not a sponsor of ours, so I'm not going to say the name, but this is a quality pipe.
Well, why don't they should be if you're such good friends with them?
Well, fine. I will talk. I will ask them, and they'll be like, "How many people watch your show?" And I'll be like,
Just lie about everything else.
I don't lie about anything. I'm not a liar.
There's at least 300 people watching.
Sounds like what a liar would say.
300, you think?
Yeah, because I'm on here. Yeah, everyone was excited for my return. I know that's true.
Mm-hmm.
I've got
Brian's been on the show before. 89.
Yeah, I just looked. Yeah, that's right. It's not the 300 that should be there because
that's good.
Everyone was excited for me, but that's pretty good.
Considering we didn't do a show last week, and the week before that, Steven hosted by himself. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, when I hosted by myself, first off, that was probably one of the better shows because I just
got us demonetized, and also one of your guests' audio didn't work.
But it was still nice to have the two old school guys on there. You know, they were talking.
Why are you calling them old? Now they're not going to come on again. They're not old. They're fine.
First, Paul,
whatever age
Paul
they are,
John,
it's perfect. It's
Paul
a fine
and John
age.
are both well aware.
It's
of
the
their
it's
age.
the twilight of life or whatever they say. Something.
Sure, the twilight. It's right before it goes completely black. It's fine.
You're terrible.
Never said anything but.
They're not going to be your best friends anymore. We had Paul Rugg and John McCann on. He's not the shoe guy. They were writers on. Oh, you know all this, Brian.
Yeah, I was on an episode with Paul Rugg, right?
Yeah, you were. That's right.
Good
Brian
guy.
predates you on here, Steven.
Yeah, the original sidekick.
He was my first choice. He was busy.
I mean, you know, it's I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, the Monday evenings, they worked great until I started teaching jiu-jitsu really late on Mondays. And
yeah, let's talk about that a little before we wrap up. So does any of the martial arts stuff translate into or vice versa, the skill toy area?
Not really. There's a couple things that I took from my childhood days when I did Kung Fu and learned like the rope dart. And I made some yo-yo tricks out of that.
Oh, do you still have one of those?
A rope dart? No.
I
don't do anything Kung Fu-y related anymore. Just
those are
MMA,
fun.
Strict MMA right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're fun though. They're so much fun.
They are really fun. Yeah. It makes you feel like Jackie Chan every time you use one.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. No. Yeah.
Even
now
it's a thing where like you could basically shoot a weight on a rope. You can like hit targets with it. You can.
Some guys are super accurate with it too. Like
I've seen a guy on YouTube that's crazy. Yeah. And he makes his own, all different counterweights and everything. Like, yeah, he's serious. Yeah. He's really good.
It's funny because almost all of the old Kung Fu weapons I think are really dumb. Like, but that dart, it's the one where I'm like, I think that could kill someone. I think that one's legit. Like
it looks pretty scary.
Yeah.
He's firing a metal weight pretty fast. He's hit some like ballistic gel heads and done some serious damage.
Yeah.
This one guy.
Oh, and they have a spike on the end of it. So it's
you can do the spike.
There's a blade on it.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But so you're doing you have, for anyone that doesn't know, you also have your MMA school. Now, are you teaching strict jiu-jitsu or are you teaching MMA in general?
So we have a jiu-jitsu program, a wrestling program, a kickboxing program, which is actually based off Bas Ruyten's kind of Dutch kickboxing style.
Oh, that's good.
And, and then we're actually adding a boxing program.
Shout out to Bas.
Yeah, shout out Bas. Come out to my gym. Let's get out here. Come on.
Next time we talk to him, we should talk to him seriously about that because he goes around and does.
I know. Yeah, I've been meaning to reach out to him and
challenge him. Challenge him to a
no. I don't care if he's 60. I'm not challenging.
No, not you, Chris. You've got the show to do, but
Brian's not stupid either. Brian, did you ever see that clip of George St. Pierre was doing an interview on a podcast, and the guy asked him about like street fighting, and he said, in a street fight, now this is George St. Pierre, like one of the greatest of all times. He said, I would rather fight Francis Ngannou than fight Bas Rutten in a street fight.
Yeah.
And for anyone that doesn't know, Francis Ngannou was a giant heavyweight, recorded having the hardest punch on earth. And George St. Pierre still said he would rather fight him in a street fight than Bas.
Yep. Yeah, I've seen that interview. Yeah. We're going to be adding a boxing program and hopefully judo here at some point.
Wow.
And then what I do is if you want to train MMA at the gym, you have to take a year of a grappling art and a year of a striking art. So
okay. Makes sense.
You have to train in both. And I don't care if it's what the combo is. Usually I recommend wrestlers do kickboxing and jiu-jitsu people boxing, but it really doesn't matter.
It makes sense though, because the kicking with the takedowns, yeah.
Well, it's actually the jiu-jitsu guys are going to be mad at me, but you all suck at stand up. So you have no base on your feet at all, and so you have no business. Just stick to your hands. Are
you training? Are you drilling them takedowns at least? The jiu-jitsu guys.
So in our jiu-jitsu program, we combine, because I have a judo black belt as well. So we combine judo with the jiu-jitsu.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
We'll do judo on its own. Okay. Yeah. So all in my gym, we just went to a tournament and I have a rule. If you pull guard, I walk away. So I won't go.
I like that.
And for those who don't know, pulling guard is where instead of starting the fight like a man on your feet, you just sit on your butt and scratch your butt on the mat like a dog. And so I had a student do that, and I just got up and left. Like, you're on your own. Like, you know.
There's a guy on YouTube, Jesse Enkamp. You know that guy?
Yeah.
He's a karate guy.
Yep.
And he did a video where he was trying to prove that jiu-jitsu doesn't work, and he actually ends up entering the tournament. He just keeps standing up. And the guy keeps pulling guard. He just keeps standing up until the ref is like, no, you have to engage. He's like, oh, well, this is.
Yeah, well, that's the stupidity of it, right? It's
yeah.
Like the guy sits down, and then the rule is that you have to engage. And I get, you're doing
it. It's a sport.
It's a sport. You have to do that. But I like the tournaments that penalize you for pulling guard. So that's actually the reason we have a wrestling program too, is that I think you need a strong, solid stand-up foundation. You need takedowns. And it shows, like the last tournament we went to, we punished everybody on the feet. Like there was, just other schools don't train it, and it's a shame that they don't.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, you know what? We have to talk about our sponsors. We have their affiliates, but we have two sponsors. The first one is Venerable Aubert Herbals. I will spell that out I won't now, but I'll type it out in the description. Venerable Aubert Herbals. Venerable Aubert Herbals is a family-owned Catholic company creating herbal products for skincare and other things and relaxation for everyone. You don't have to be Catholic. It's not going to burn you if you're like a Hindu or something. It's fine. It's Venerable Aubert Herbals. And our other sponsor is an affiliate link, is Poggers. People who are regular watchers of the show know all about Poggers. Energy, hydration, and relaxation drink mixes, shakers, and more. They even have stickers. Poggers. It's poggers.shop. And if you use the affiliate link, we'll get a little bit of money. Poggers. It's all natural. Poggers. If you're having a hardcore gaming session, or you're doing some of the darn jiu-jitsu, or even yo-yoing, you might need some I've been yo-yoing. Oh, I'm dehydrated. I'm sweating up. It's yo-yo now. They're crazy. They don't even come back. I'm so parched. I need some Poggers. Hydration, energy, and relaxation drink mixes. That's poggers.shop. Thanks, Poggers. Okay. It's got to keep the lights on. Well, Brian, I'm so glad that you came on. This has been fascinating. There's so much that I did not know about the skill toy area, market, hobby. And you'll have to come back because we barely scratched the surface. We only saw yo-yo tricks. Maybe next time you can show us some of the other items that you're proficient in and do some tricks with those. Steven's falling asleep, so that's how you know it's time to go. There
I'm trying to.
This is what he does, Brian. This is what he does every show. He says something racist. He eats a snack, and then he falls asleep. It's wonderful.
First off,
really,
I know
it's really great.
I know you might
I
be.
get a snack.
Yeah, this is what you left me with.
Listen, in my defense, my business has been doing great and it's really excelled. So
Well, that's good.
And in his defense, he doesn't need your show. This is pity.
I know that.
I think this is so that he's writing this off on his taxes.
And then he tells me things like, and then he's like, "Oh, my cow was mad because I was late milking her."
My cow was mad gets mad when I'm late milking her, but that's
he yells at me off air. My cow.
There's a great solution
backed up.
for mad cows.
He's got mad cow.
Just put her in your freezer. That's it. Problem solved.
This show isn't doing anything. If you need to hire somebody to help with your Yo-Yo Tricks website, we've been demonetized left and right because of this guy. So I could use the cash.
I have full rights for those videos because the person who created them sent them to me on the air. It's like, here, put this up. I give you permission.
Yeah, Warner Brothers really cares about that.
We should let me have a chat with Warner Brothers and the Warner sister. I'm pretty sure that I can get it all taken care of.
Well, they've been replaced by body snatchers. Have you seen these new ones? They made a new cartoon.
Oh yeah, no, that's not that.
It's not them. It's the same thing. It's the same thing that happened to the Muppets. Now, Glove and Boots warned us about this, that the Muppets were pod people, and they did the same thing now with the Animaniacs. We have to go. The show is over. Anyway, thank you so much, Brian, for joining us. We hope you'll come back soon with some more tricks. I really enjoyed it. I had no idea how much this had evolved. I really didn't, and it's fascinating. And now I need to go on yoyotricks.com and get myself a proper big boy yo-yo. So
that's right.
Thanks. And we'll work on Steven's gonna, I think by the next time you come on, we will have Steven perfect the milk the cow trick, and he'll show you.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of the hardest yo-yo tricks to learn. So
that's his homework. Well, no, if anybody's got a leg up in the milking the cow, it's this guy.
100%. I do that thing that you would say that I should do.
All right, get ready to end the stream, Steven.
All right.
Thank you all for tuning in to Good Night, everybody. We always appreciate your viewership. Please buy something from the affiliates. There's cheap stuff. Anything helps. And tell your friends. And good night, everybody.